In this issue, we crocheted a grape hair clips like this. What's next? We're going to hook this one first. Take out this 6 cm bobby pin, and then we tie a knot first. And then we start inserting needles into this gap. Then put on a coil. Pull over. Next, hook a lock pin. As a standing pin, start to hook the short pin. Three, 4, 6, and then what? Stuff it inside. Then continue to tee. In total, we hook 16 short pins. After 16 short stitches, what we're going to do is we're going to hook a braid. Turn it to the opposite side. On the other side, continue to hook 16 short pins. 1, 2, 15, 16. You know what? When you're done, next we hook 3 braid pins. 1 to 3 braid pins. Draw the 2 braids with the first stitch object. Then pull tight. That completes the first lap. What's next? Let's do the second loop. Start with 3 braids. These 3 braids are made into 1 long needle. What then? 2 long needles into the second stitch. Next is the third stitch. Also 2 long needles. And then the coil elongates. There are 5 long needles here. We found the first long needle. That's a long needle of 3 braids. Third braid. Take the coil and hook it. This is a small needle with 5 long needles. And then we hook 3 braids. Draw in the next stitch. That's a complete one. Then we repeat the process. 3 braids. And then the next stitch. 2 long needles. 2 long stitches at the end of the next stitch. There are 5 long needles. Hook the first long needle. So our needle search is complete. Then 3 braids. The next needle is drawn. Then we follow the hook rule. Hook all the way down here. There's already 4 hooks in there. The 5th and the last. 3 braids on this side. Next long needle. Needles in the eye. Next stitch inside. There's a long needle. Then what? Resume. Tail. 3 braids. Next account. Then all the stitches on this side are done. And then 3 braids. Come to this. A braid needle over here. It's a braid pin in the corner. We'll hook the braid needle in this corner. For long needles. 1, 2, 3. And then again. Drawing. Then 3 braids in the next stitch, which is inside the first stitch on this side. Drawing. So this is done. And then this side. It also corresponds to the side that was just hooked. There are also 5 of these popcorn pins. 3 braids. There are 3 long needles in the next stitch. Two long stitches at the end of the next stitch. Then what? Drawing pin. Resume. So we'll just keep hooked up here. Here again to the last one. 3 braids. Then the next stitch ends. 2 long needles. Then the next stitch. 2 long needles. Continue with 3 braids. The next stitch is right here. Then print. Disconnection. Of course, you can hook a few short, no problem either. On to disconnect directly here. And then just have a taste. Because later. After getting the leaves, gotta block it out. What's next? Part of the leaf. Ring needle. Tensioning. What's next? To braids. Then hook a long needle into it. Then continue to pull the 2 braids in. So you hook a leaf. We hook the leaves all together. Each leaf is crocheted the same way, both 2 locking pins. Then a long needle. 2 locking pins. A drawing pin. 2 tablets. Triplet cut. Last piece. You know what? We're done here. Tighten it up. What we're going to do is we're going to hook this. Continue to hook. 4 braids. And then hook back. Make a short stitch in the penultimate stitch. 3. The next step is to pull inside the ring. Follow up break. And then you tighten that loop again. So it tightens up. Good back knot. Then cut off the excess thread. And then what? Just glue it here. And this place is blocked. Such a hairpin. And here I'll reserve a 15 to 20 centimeter. You can do it the same way you just did it, but I'm going to use a different method here. To gestalt a few stitches. Tensioning. And then we start to hook the long needle. So elongated, do one, even a standing up needle. Next, hook to medium pins in the ring. 2. And then hook a braid. And then go ahead and hook to medium and long needles 1 or 2. Then hook it all together and then hook a braid. So we'll hook a total of 5 medium and long needles, 1 by 2. 1 braid is 3. 4. A braid. The last. A medium long needle. Unfinished medium long needle. Stitches. Hook through. Then there's a braid. How about 5? 5 sets and you're done. Then pull the coil tight here. What's next? We just cut the line. Counter tension. Then we hook the body of the grape. Again, let's tie a knot first. Find the gap between the first and second sets. Here. Insert the needle into the gap. Take this coil. Hook over. Then tie a braid. We think of it as a standing pin. Doesn't count as stitches. Again in this gap. Hook 5 unfinished mid-length stitches. 1. So. 5. Tick off. Then hook a braid. Then the second group, the process you just did. The space between the second and third green leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and hook a braid. Move on to the next gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hook a braid. And then there's one last gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all together to create a braid. Okay, so this second lap is done. Next, hook the third circle, connect, and then you start by inserting a needle into this gap. Well, then you can keep going a bit. Pull this coil through the air with the needle, and then you start a braid. And then the first one we didn't even count the increment. In your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and hook a braid. Resume. The second group. Inside the second gap. And when you're done, hook a braid. Inside the last crack. Variable hook car. How about that? I got 3 ticks on this line, to go on and on and on. Finish ticking it off. This is number 5. The 5th line is ticked off. We just cut the line. Then pull tight. Then this grape is finished. You taste this thread. Then cut. What we're going to do is we're going to hook one of these. Find this gap in the ring. And then we hook 3 braids. 1, 2, 3 for 4 braids. And then inside the penultimate braid, we hook a drawing pin. Then hook the short needle. Hook another short pin. And pull it over. And then pull this wire from inside this loop to this side. And then this, and this, and this, he just curved around like that. Bend over and leave him alone. Just bend over and look better. And then we wrap the thread. It'll stick when it's glued. A little taste of the water will do. Then cut. And then this is exactly 5 centimeters. Is 5. 1 centimeter on this clip is fine. That's how you stick it. Well, this leaf is stuck, too. So these 2 grape barrettes are done.